Hello, my name is Matt Cavallo, and I'm one of the founders of Situation Positive. Situation Positive is a nonprofit organization that provides a community for people living with chronic illness. Did you know that there's over 157 million people in the United States alone that have one or more chronic illness? Those numbers are staggering. That's over 40% of the population. So let's say you're in a crowded room. If you look to your right, then you look to your left, the chances are that one of the people you see, or maybe even yourself, have a chronic illness. The other thing is, they're probably not talking about it. Talking about chronic illness is tough. I should know. When I was 28 years old, I became temporarily paralyzed from the waist down. I was numb. I had pins and needles. I couldn't walk or go to the bathroom on my own. I got admitted to the emergency room and then admitted to a hospital. I underwent a series of tests, including chest and back x-rays, CAT scans, MRIs with and without contrast dye. And I was discharged in a wheelchair without a diagnosis, right? I had to learn how to walk again in a pool. I did aquatic therapy with a physical therapist where I learned how to walk again. And this took me a long time. A month later, I met with my neurologist and I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I'd like to say I handled it better, but I didn't. I went into a deep depression. My aunt Loretta had multiple sclerosis and she died when I was 4 years old. My only living memories of her were that she was in a wheelchair, she couldn't walk, she also couldn't talk, she could only mumble and moan. And at 28 years old, I'm thinking that's my fate. And all the whispers from my family say, he looks like Loretta again. And so I shut down. I pulled away from everybody. I didn't want to talk to my friends or family about it. I didn't want to talk to the people at work about it. The people at work already started treating me differently. You know, I went from this guy who was always I was a real estate developer and I was always at the job sites to, they just wanted me to stay at the office. Matt, you look tired. Why don't you just stay at the office? Really, they were probably afraid that I was now a fall risk and they didn't want me doing some of the things that I used to do. And that was life in general at that time. And so I kind of went into a cocoon where I withdrew from my friends and my family. I wanted to find other people like me, but nobody was talking about it. I tried to find a book on the subject and all I could find was one of these like, rah, rah, you can do it, or holistic, eat leaves and you'll be cured type of books. And I wanted none of that, right? I just wanted to talk to a real person who was going through some of the things that I was going through. And luckily I kept a journal and I started flipping back through my journal at the time and I realized that mine was the story I was looking for. So I ended up writing a memoir that I called My Dog Story. And that launched me into a new career. Because from that day forward, once I was diagnosed, I wanted to learn how I could make a difference using my story. And everybody's got a unique story. So I started going all over the world telling people my dog story. They would laugh, they'd cry, they'd feel good at the end, and then they would share their story with me. And we started to build a community of positive people that were living the best that they could despite the challenges of chronic illness. And maybe you're there. Maybe you're in that bucket too. Go over to situationpositive.org and check us out. All right? If you're somebody living with a chronic illness and you're having a tough time and you want somebody to talk to, submit a contact. You'll get me or somebody like me, right? Because I've been there. And when you have a community of people who've been there, you can lean on each other, you can provide resources to each other, and you know, you could be your story could help somebody heal, right? So visit us at situationpositive.org, right? Check out our interviews, check out our resources, and become a part of our community. And speaking of community, please help us grow. If you or someone you know has a chronic illness, please like or share this video. We're going to be having a lot of great content coming out you know, maybe it's stories from people, maybe it's resources, but they're all going to be positive things that help people with chronic illness, right? So do us a favor, help our community grow. Press that like and share button, and if you have the opportunity, subscribe. It may not be much to you, but it means the world to us, right? So thank you for spending these couple of minutes with me. Again, my name's Matt Cavallo. You can find me at situationpositive.org. We look forward to you joining the conversation. Keep it positive, everybody.